Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Football Takes. It's supposed to be a live session, but I'm just going to do a video for this one as we get into the next game week, and yeah, we look at what we think, some predictions here and there, and yeah, basically how the league is shaping up, some insights on how the league is shaping up. Yeah, and we take it from there. So right off the bat, we have Aston Villa versus Arsenal, and Aston Villa away from home. So yeah, I think that's a KG one. Arsenal has been, I won't say been shaky because they were shaky against Chelsea. Everybody expected them to win, but they didn't win. But obviously, that's a derby, and that is a derby match, and anything can happen. Literally, Chelsea at their worst form, Arsenal at their best form. Anything can usually happen. But there we have it. They played, they played out a 1-1 draw. Does it does it speak? What does it say about us now, though? Are they really contending for this title? Because obviously it's probably forecasted. It's not even be wrong to forecast like a time or a downtime for Arsenal where they get to like fall off from the list stuff from like form and maybe lose some matches. These are the matches that they will need that padding for, right? These are the matches they will need that padding for. But if they don't get it in now, I don't know. But yeah, then we talk about how they now fared against Brentford. It was a straightforward one. Although the Raya Raya is actually very good. He kept them in the game. But I feel if the chance, the save he made in the first half was not in, I think that match could have had a different complexion. But yeah, they kept it solid at the back, and they won it. They won 2-0 over um, Brentford. And yeah, they move on. But I think Aston Villa will be obviously much of a better test to them, much of a tougher test in a sense because Aston Villa has been pushing. Is it still safe to say punching above their weight? Because these guys have been doing this stuff season over season. Emery has cemented this team to be a team that works and functions. And yeah, kudos to him. And then, in respect to how they started the season very poorly. And I think in the last 5-6 matches, they've only had Liverpool and like win them, right? So and that no draws, the straight wins and stuff like that. So I think Emery has been able to crack this Aston Villa team with the incomings and the outgoings from Rashford to the likes of Asensio and then these new guys. But I think the spine of the team is being set and probably what to do to be able to win or get something from this Arsenal game. I think Emery will be the best man for that, and it's highly possible. Yeah, so I think for predictions, I would say an Arsenal win, but a 2-1 win to Arsenal. Yeah, 2-1 win to Arsenal. Then, um, Chelsea versus Bournemouth. Bournemouth is the worst, is the second worst team in the league right now, followed by Wolves in the last 5 matches. Right, they've had only one draw in their last five. They've lost the rest. And for a team that started the season flying, I think they had only lost to Liverpool, and every other match they got to win it. Something as Iraola probably is getting something wrong. Obviously, 5 matches is a testament to something being wrong. There are no major injuries in the team. Semenyo is still in the team. Calvin Kuviat, Patrick Kuviat even came back into the team. And yeah, so I don't see Trupe is firing. Their 9 man is still around. So I don't know why the sudden drop off ball. Let's see. Chelsea gets to draw Arsenal against all odds, but gets battered by Leeds. So two teams you don't know what. Obviously, Bournemouth. I think we are not expecting much of a performance from them, but we know they are just like the lying lions, the sleeping lions, right? Because they could bite, and also being at home, that's an advantage to them. So yeah, I think that's something one match to look out for. But I think for this match, I might call. I would call a draw. I'll call a draw because I think it will be a 2-2 draw with these two teams. Because Bournemouth will be trying to get the goals. Chelsea obviously would also be in the goals. And yeah, I think this is a 2-2 draw. I don't think any of these teams. But I think this is one of the positions that I'm not too confident about because these teams can do anything at any point in time. Now we move on to Everton. Everton is a team that's they do what needs to be done. Just like Fulham, they go to the places they need to go to and win. And the places they don't need to win or they can't win, they will just go there, drop their points and go. They don't move with the tides of maybe Sunderland they are in form or stuff like that. They could win Sunderland on Sunderland's best day and then lose to Liverpool on Liverpool's worst day. So they just follow the trend of the Premier League in quotes, right? And do what needs to be done. So, but they are winning their matches. And against Nottingham Forest team that has picked up form, but I think Sondage is doing what he needs to do. But so I think for this match, Everton gets one over Tottenham. So my prediction would be, I would say I would say for this match, a 2-1 win for Everton being at home. Now, Sunderland versus Man City. Sunderland does not play Ludo. They don't play pranks and jokes, right? And I think just as Haaland has a great goal in every match that he steps into, I think Sunderland has a goal in this match. So it's now down to, and I think for anyone that can stay in the match against Man City has has an opportunity to get something out of the match, and that's just my fair view. I think if you can stay sturdy, you can get something out of Man City. So for this match, I'll predict a Man City win because Pep Guardiola is now dynamic. He's now a dynamic coach in the sense of reading what needs to be done and getting his players to deliver that. So for that reason, I would say a 3-1 win for Manchester City. Yeah, 3-1. I think 3-1. Manchester City gets the job done on time, and yeah, Sunderland could maybe get one or two goals from the set piece, but I call a 3-1 win on that one. Now, Newcastle United. We see Newcastle United. Oh, Burnley, Newcastle, Burnley. That's an easy one. I think Newcastle should get 3-0, three goals, 3 goals with no reply on that one. So I call it a 3-0 win for Newcastle. If they don't score it by open play goal, it's probably is most likely going to come from set pieces. And then we call not Tottenham versus Brentford, the main manager versus his set piece coach coming head to head to have a clash. Let's see, it's the battle of the set pieces. It's the battle of the set pieces right there. 4 o'clock Saturday is going to be the battle of the set pieces. So we see who is more organized in the set piece and who has the set piece stuff on lock. So yeah, it's the battle of the set pieces. Two managers that know each other, and two teams are not in the fairest of place. I think Tottenham is still grasping to get an identity. Brentford has their identity. They have their stuff locked. This is their striker. Ah, I forget his name. He's not. He didn't play the last match, so I don't know if he's going to be around for this match because he actually is very very instrumental in what they do in the set piece space. So, but for that match, Tottenham versus Brentford, I think Tottenham gets to win this match. I think they've been on the poor run, and this is the perfect place for them to get a win. So I think because they're not playing anything cohesive, they're just playing whatever comes across. So I think for this match, I predict they get a win, and I think they get a 2-1 win over Brentford. Then Leeds versus Liverpool. Leeds versus Liverpool. Leeds that batter Chelsea versus Liverpool that is still finding their feet. I think Leeds um, not as aggressive aerially or how would I say in set pieces as most teams are when they are basically in the league right now. And Liverpool tend to fare well against teams that are not trying to use set piece to like suffocate them, right? So yeah, I think this match should be fairly easy for Liverpool to win. But also being away from home, it's kind of daunting one. I think if Salah is still on the bench, then we can play some cohesive football, break them down, get the goals with Isak, and just call it a day. It should be a good outing for Liverpool, but obviously we can't take away a goal on the Liverpool end. So I'll call for this match. I will say 3-1 to Liverpool, and I expect just a straightforward win. The job done, then probably Leeds comes back to the game to score a goal. Then Premier League, we are looking at the Saturday match, the Sunday matches, right? We have Brighton versus West Ham. KG won. West Ham was able to get a draw from Manchester United, which was not like I like watching the match. I was like, these guys are toothless. But I think I said the same thing about Liverpool, and then Florian Wirtz hooked up magic. Yeah, so West Ham also got a set piece in, and they were able to get a draw from that match, leaving Man U in a bad place, right? So, but yeah, but I think Brighton is a more cohesive team, and I think they beat West Ham comprehensively. I think a 2-0 win for Brighton in that match should summarize that. And then we talk about Fulham and Crystal Palace. Fulham Crystal Palace. This is actually a very cagey match. I think this is one of the most. This was probably one of the most interesting matches of the day. Obviously, the most interesting match of the day, but one of the most interesting matches of the game week because I think outside of Aston Villa, Arsenal, I don't see any other match that's as cagey as this. These two teams are mid-table, but they are also picking up their form. They are playing some kind of beautiful football with Chukwueze now on fire, with Crystal Palace losing points here and there, but also winning their matches. Mateta playing. I think Sa is still out, but yeah, I think these teams are like on par with each other, and I expect them to have to give us a beautiful match. So I think for this match, I will call a Fulham. I think Fulham plays with more intensity. So I'll call a Fulham win with Sa out. I'll call a Fulham win, and I'll say a 2-1 win for Fulham. Yeah, a 2-1 win for Fulham. Probably Chukwueze gets a goal. And then we look at Wolves versus Manchester United. Cunha going back home, and with Cunha back home, I don't think there's anything. Wolves is like a free 3 points right now, but this is the Premier League as usual. Anything, literally anything can happen. And Manchester United is shaking. I think if this coach is going to do anything with Wolves, I think it's best he just focuses on set pieces and tries to get a goal from that avenue. If not, I don't see any other way they can break down Manchester United. But yeah, that's just my opinion on that. But I think Manchester United gets to win that match. I think a 3-0 win for Manchester United over the course of the match. 90 minutes is more than enough time for them to get 3 goals over this Wolves team. But I think Manchester United's defense is not that strong to give a clean sheet. So I would say 3-1. I'll call 3-1 on Manchester United. And yes, that's my prediction and that's my wrap on the game week coming up. I think it's not the most interesting game weeks, but we have matches every day that are worth watching. Yeah, so I think I'll have my eyes on Arsenal. I'll have my eyes on Chelsea and the top six basically. I think the rest are straightforward, except from this Fulham match. I think the rest are straightforward. So yeah, I think that's a wrap for me. Thank you guys once again. I want to hear your comments in the comment section.